Hi everyone, this is going to be a timeless love reading for all signs. This is going to be a general reading, so it may or may not apply to your circumstances. So just take the messages if they resonate with you, otherwise they're not for you. First off, let's begin with, while I was shuffling, the Knight of Rods popped out with the Ace of Rods, and the Empress came out with the Seven of Pentacles. And this kind of made me laugh. Seems like two very distinct energies coming together, or one of them is trying to come together. With the Knight of Rods, it feels way more lighthearted and quick moving, and could be someone even moving residences. I mean, I know a lot is happening in the world right now, so you might be experiencing some sort of upheaval. You might be the one with the rushing energy, so to speak, this carrying a big stick energy. Or you might be the Empress, who is sitting there very, very much situated in her power and surveying her lands and always checking on her pentacles, which for me is what the Seven of Pentacles is. Someone who is kind of revising and looking over and determining whether the yield is enough. Is this, is this harvest what I wanted? Is this harvest giving me back what I put into it? And she's just sort of sitting there, not really looking like she's gonna move or necessarily be a good match for this Knight of Rods. I mean, there's already a clear power imbalance because she's an Empress and he's a Knight, and that's not really on the same level. So you might be in a situation where it's becoming obvious in maybe some sort of partnership of yours that there's a severe imbalance in power or in resources or in how you like to operate. One of you might have more of a grounded approach to things, and the other person might just prefer to rush in head first and, figure it out on the way, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But if it's not the way you operate, it's not really going to be smooth sailing for you, I guess. So I also clarified really quickly. I'll pull some more cards after I talk about these clarifiers. For the Empress side, we got the Three of Swords, and for me, that felt really like she has had some tough experiences. Well, I say she, but it could be a masculine person. It's not about gender. The Three of Swords is kind of the heartbreak card, so traumas and betrayal and lack of trust, and that could very well be what led her to try a more grounded approach and build herself up as the Empress, and to maybe look at an offer like the Knight of Rods with a lot of skepticism, because maybe that hasn't yielded such positive results in the past. For the Knight of Rods, the clarifier that I pulled was the Three of Cups, and that is the typical friendship party card. Some people think of it as the third party card, but for me, in this particular deck, it's just really pleasant. It's very calm and relaxed and chill, and there's no drama at all. So I think that in this case, actually, even though there's a big power imbalance, like they're not evenly matched from what I can see. The Knight of Rods is not coming in like a crappy way, even if it is more rushed or youthful or like impetuous and passionate than the Empress would prefer. I think that he is approaching with like a sense of friendship and just wanting to enjoy themselves and like have fun, which may or may not be what you want to do right now. Again, the world is bananas right now, so this might not be what you're dealing with at all. I think I'm gonna pull, oh, here we go. I just got the Three of Pentacles that jumped out, and for me, this is someone doing the work and like planning planning something, doing the work and planning something. So let's see what else comes out, because that could honestly be for either one of you. The Empress is probably always planning. That's how she stays on top. And the Knight might be planning because he's on the move, because he's always on the move. So let's see what else comes out. Sorry if the shuffling is loud. That was like a ton of cards. Let's see what jumped out. Okay. Well, this is promising, but also not promising. I think too many fell out. I'm going to put them back in and see what else comes out, even though they were good cards. A little too many. So what else do these two people, energies, need to know about the situation? It's also interesting to wonder how they might be considering approaching you, considering what's going on, how people are staying home, and, you know, because usually he acts in like the physical realm, so it's not necessarily technology, but at this point, maybe it'll be a letter in the mail. Maybe you'll get a love letter. And the Hermit. So we have the Three of Pentacles and the Hermit card. And together, this is definitely someone who is plotting a course, making plans, doing the research. They are, and there's a light in both of these too. You can see the Hermit with this lantern and the Scholar studying with his little cat, alchemist. They are both looking for the light. They're looking for answers. And I mean, this one's very applicable as the Hermit is completely alone. Actually, they're both alone, so this might just be speaking of these two energies. You know, you're both in your own spaces and environments. You might not really be communicating just yet. You might not have gotten any letter or call or whatever just yet, but I think that's because it's still in the works. It just hasn't happened quite yet. I think that it is about to rush in because, well, it's a full moon, and so if it hasn't happened now, it's probably gonna happen in a couple of days. But again, these are timeless, so if you're hearing it and it makes sense for you, then it's for you, regardless of if it's a full moon or not. I am going to leave it here, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.